Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Pilot Talk podcast by OSM Aviation, the podcast where we focus on aviation-related subjects ranging from how you can get into aviation to career advice for pilots and the latest news from the aviation industry. And today, speaking about news, we are going to do what, Michel?
We are going to review the year because we're coming up to the end of the year, so it's it's a little bit maybe early. But we thought we'd make a special. We're going to review everything that's happened not everything, but important things that happened in 2019.
Nice. This is going to be fun. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy talking about these things.
Because there's a lot of things that happened.
Yeah, it is a lot of things.
And we can't cover everything.
No. But we will cover the main events, like you said, focus on the big ones, and then drop a few funny stories in there as well.
Always.
All righty. I'm looking forward to this one.
Let's go.
You are listening to Pilot Talk by OSM Aviation.
All right.
Okay, Michel. So one of the big things that happened in 2019 was the grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX, right?
Yeah, that was the news of the year, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure. I think so.
I think you're right. And and to start off on going into that, we need to go all the way back to 2018, actually, because that's where it all
started.
Yeah. And what happened in 2018?
Well, it all happened in Indonesia. Lion Air had the tragic crash of Flight 610. Happened on the 29th of October, just prior to Halloween. I guess they, it didn't stay aloft very long. It took off, and basically they started getting troubles with the controls, and then they basically lost it, unfortunately.
Tragic accident.
Every time I think about it, and, as pilots, and I know that you and myself, we put ourselves in the cockpit and we say, "Oh my God, could I have done better? Could I have done differently?" It's just I hate crashes.
Yeah, but we've touched on this subject before, and although it is extremely tragic and heartbreaking.
Yes.
And we discussed this in a previous episode that one of the good things about the aviation industry and the culture in it is that every time something bad happens, the industry will go in and try to learn from it.
That's right. Yeah. And major changes.
Exactly. But in this case, the MAX kept flying. And say about that what you want, but inevitably, we ended up in a place where another MAX went down.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. The first one, I guess they really didn't know what happened. I mean, it's a new plane and all stuff. They knew that, but I guess they hadn't all the information, so they couldn't really do anything until the second one came.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's a really good point. I mean, it was a lot of uncertainty after the first accident, so there was no reason to put it on the ground, right? Because if there was, then they would have done it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, they wouldn't have hesitated.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Now I'm gonna speculate a little bit because maybe it's because it was in Indonesia, a place where, I don't want to say anything bad about it, just that it's places where it has happened before due to a lot of things that was missed.
You think that's part of the?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that they had exactly what happened to the Ethiopian airline. And you know what? It's funny that we're on that subject again, and I know we've touched it so many times. And but there's a lot of airlines flying the MAX that had the same problem, and they were able to basically, I guess, to control it to the limit of the envelope and then land it. So I mean, it's not just Lion Air and Ethiopian. I think there were a couple of more that had a close call with controllability problems. Do you recall that?
I don't recall any specifics.
I think there was something in the States, actually, like a Southwest or something, but I'm not sure. We'll get back to that. If the listeners knows about it, they maybe could send us a quick email and let us know.
Yeah.
So, the second one happened on the 10th of March.
And in
Ethiopian.
2019.
Yeah. Flight 302.
And after that, it got grounded
That was it.
by all the aviation authorities around the world. And they said, hey, we got to take a look at this.
Yeah.
Something is not right. And we got to investigate, make sure that everything is safe before we put it back in the air.
That's right.
And the goal was, or the predictions were, that it was supposed to be back in the air now by the end of 2019.
Right.
But, obviously when it comes to recertifying an aircraft, and especially under these circumstances, they don't want to be under any time pressure. And I think recent reports, they've said, a more realistic estimate is Q1 or the first quarter of 2020.
Yeah.
Possibly or most likely towards the end of the first quarter. I saw that the Ryanair is one of the companies in Europe that's, this has hit them pretty hard. They were supposed to take 58 Boeing 737 MAXs in 2019. But now because of this, obviously the delivery's been delayed. And now they're only going to take 20, and they're going to be delivered in mid-2020.
Wow.
So, and then...
That's a lot of airplanes.
I know. And on top of that, you got the Brexit uncertainty. And but I think...
Let's not go there.
No, let's...
Let's not go there.
Brexit, that's...
But Norwegian had 35 airplanes.
Yeah, Norwegian had lots on order too, huh?
They had 35 in 2019 and up to 65 by 2020. So they were also majorly hurt.
Yeah, it's financially, and it's devastating for those airlines that were waiting for those aircraft, expecting them and planning for that. But
as a CEO of a company like that, I would actually go to Boeing and say, you must guarantee me it will never happen again. Because if it happens again, for the same particular system of the MCAS, no, it can't. They can't do that. So they have to do due diligence.
Yeah.
They have to make sure that all their I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. Because if it happens again, man, I don't think Boeing's going to exist again. It'll be over.
No, they has to. And I know. Did you see the interview with the Boeing CEO in California? He's under quite some pressure. But I think what's also interesting to see is that he's got the support of his peers and of everybody. Said he's acted in a good way. I heard that he gave up his bonuses in lieu of all this, but
right, his millions.
Yeah, and then but I think obviously he's under a lot of criticism, but also there are some people showing support.
Easy fix though. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
The MCAS, not the 7.3, but just get rid of the MCAS. We don't need it. Thank you, but no thank you.
Let the pilots fly.
Yeah, baby.
Yep.
That's it, exactly.
Alrighty. Yeah. Well, so obviously this was a big news this year, but I think another big thing that's been happening in 2019 and also in 2018, but it has continued, and even to a higher extent in 2019, is that we've seen a lot of airlines going bankrupt.
Yeah. Well, it will happen, and it will happen again.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah. I think, we spoke about this on a previous episode. The Lufthansa CEO went out and said he predicted there'd only be 16 airlines in the future, so a lot fewer, but bigger airlines.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have predicted that there's going to be consolidation and bankruptcies and all that kind of stuff. And, like Ryanair, for example, to go back to them, they took over a lot of A320s when Thomas Cook went bankrupt.
Right.
So, like we've spoken about before, there are other airlines that are operated profitably.
Yeah.
That will sweep in and absorb the resources. If it's hardware, planes, or if it's people, whatever it is, So what that Lufthansa CEO is talking about, we're seeing that happening. But it wasn't just Thomas Cook was a big one.
Yeah.
That was a big one this year.
Huge.
Yeah.
They've been there. So we did some research today, you and me, and I can't believe it's the travel agency's been on since 18 something.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was founded in 1841.
My God, I wasn't even born.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time. I never thought. I thought, like KLM's been 100 years old. What's another one? Avianca, over 100 years old. But now we're talking about like over 150 years old.
So,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just like a couple, 2 decades, and then it'll be 200 years since
I never thought they had a travel agency in 1841.
Well, you got to travel,
My
you know.
God.
You can book
1841.
if you want to book a horse.
You got it. That's right.
But but I mean, and the airline was founded, Thomas Cook Airlines was founded in 2001. So that was relatively newer,
That's
but,
in Europe.
you know, still.
But, you know, it's funny that we're talking about these. It happens every year now. Every time we lose some airlines they will shut down. But it's almost like a natural progression in the evolution of our airline industry. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 that will collapse, and then the bigger fish will take it. And you know, it almost saves the day a little bit by, you know, there is a pilot shortage, but when that happened, well, we get we're not repenting, but we get a how you call that? We get a break. You know, now we got another 300 pilots that are looking for work. So, you know, it's almost like we forget about there is a pilot shortage because these people are just filling the slots. But it happens every year.
Yeah. And I think, you know, just like you were saying, when Monarch, for example, went bankrupt, you saw Ryanair and Norwegian immediately go out and say, hey, Monarch pilots, send your resumes, put Monarch in the subject line, we'll put you on a fast track towards recruitment. Same thing with Thomas Cook, you know, and it's not just pilots, it's cabin crew, it's engineers, it's all these
everything.
people.
Yeah.
And, you know, for the airline, it might seem like a break. Obviously, for the people working for the airline that goes bankrupt, it's a stressful situation, right? And they got to looking at the possibilities of maybe having to relocate, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But it's hopefully they are employed again in a job that they love.
And the cycle continues.
Yeah.
Pilot Talk with Stein Mjåtveit and Michel Treskin.
That's it. That's it for the dark.
Yeah, it seems like 2019 has been a dark year, but there's been some upsides too.
Oh yeah, man. There's always a good side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you always say it well. You say, you know, like it's important to talk about these things, both the good and the bad, you know, because if not, we're not being nuanced.
That's right.
Right. So, but let's look at the bright side of life.
That's it. We're gonna do the bright side now till the end of the podcast. How's that?
That sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
So what about, you know, what's been positive?
Oh my God, there's a lot of things positive. I think that, you can look at just look at OSM.
Yeah, we've had a good year. Wow. We've had some exciting stuff happening,
incredible,
right?
Incredible. You know, we're OSM Aviation, if you want, we're over 6,000 employees. We're in more than 18 countries. I think now we're down to 19 or 21, whatever.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the Academy, we just bought another flight school.
Yeah, in Florida, right?
Yeah, have you seen it?
Yeah, I haven't been there yet, but I'm gonna make a trip.
We're gonna go together.
Yeah, let's go together.
The good old days.
Last time we went to Florida was a great time. Yeah,
we had a good time there. Yeah. So, flight school in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
at the Executive Airport.
Yeah,
it's been I think we had it's a great school where we're gonna make it nice and pretty and shiny.
Yeah,
we're going to put a lot of new airplanes in there. And speaking of airplanes, OSM as well did.
We placed an order of 60 electric aircraft from Airspace in March this year, right?
That's right. Yep.
And they're going to start delivering them by hopefully the end of 2021.
And who's going to get them first?
That's a good question. I think, depending on where the need is the largest, but I think the ambition is for us to spread them out across all of our training locations.
Yeah.
But it might initially, since they're produced predominantly in the U.S.,
right,
at least for now, then probably, school in Fort Lauderdale will get some of the first deliveries.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, right?
It's going to be interesting, I think, because again, I'm just speaking out loud here, but and you're the expert because you're more affiliated with the Academy and all that than I am. But does that mean that special training will have to be done because it's an electric airplane? New SOPs, the book will have to be reviewed.
Yeah, definitely new SOPs.
Yeah.
New checklists.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then I think the interesting thing is how the regulators are going to look at this. Is this going to be a new class.
Yeah.
You know, you got single engine piston, multi-engine piston.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is it going to be single
With the
engine electric? You know, is it going to be a whole new thing in the license?
I never thought about that.
And I don't know. I don't think, you know, at this point, we haven't really found answers to those questions. So that's something we need to explore together with the manufacturer, together with the regulators. And,
That's right. Yeah.
And obviously us as well.
Because right now it's an experimental class, if I recall.
I think that there are already electrical planes in the market that are experimental, but this is going to be, you know, fully certified for flight training. You know, once we start using it in flight training, it's not going to be experimental anymore.
And do you have any performance numbers?
I do in my inbox somewhere.
Should we pause and get it?
I'll just, you know, like just from the top of my mind, and I think we've touched on this before, but
yeah, that's true.
It has a better performance as you gain altitude because you don't lose any engine efficiency.
Yeah.
Because in a regular, normally aspirated engine, if you don't have a turbocharger or stuff like that,
supercharger,
or a supercharger, then you know you won't be able to compress the thin air at altitude. But in an electric plane, you don't need the air for combustion.
That's right. Who cares?
So you know you have better performance as you gain altitude, and I think in terms of speeds and those kind of things and load, you know, it's very similar to any. Yeah, it's really sleek. It looks good.
It is slick.
It does look really good. Yeah, but you know, it can take about the same payload and fly around the same speeds as a general aviation aircraft, like a Piper or a Cessna.
And you know, I'm thinking about the winds and all. It looks like a very light airplane.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Light. I mean, you know, obviously since now it's a more modern plane, it can, I'm not sure about the composites, you know, like even the DA-42, the twin that we use.
That's right. It's a composite.
We use a lot of composite aircraft, so it reduces the weight. And
right.
All that stuff. Yeah. But, yeah. And what about the other cool stuff that happened? You mentioned Avianca. They're going to have a 100-year anniversary on the 5th of December.
Are we invited?
We should go. We should go.
We should do a podcast there.
Go to South America and celebrate.
We should ask maybe our listeners to send us some money so we can go there.
Yeah. Go to OSM Aviation /donate.
Yeah, donate to the Michel and Stein Vacation Fund. Yeah, it should be a good party. Yeah, that's a great thing. 100 years, Avianca, let's go.
Yeah.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think you said it also, KLM is the only airline that's older.
Yeah,
they're also 100 years now this year in 2019, right?
Yeah, and KLM's doing good. So again, congratulations to them. Well done.
Yeah,
great airline.
Well done.
I love the service. I love pilots are super trained.
Yeah, great airline to fly with.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's like the big ones. Yeah, absolutely. I heard that SAS and Airbus also announced a collaboration to explore an alternative power plant for their aircraft.
That is exciting. Yeah, hybrid electric planes and biofuel, and you know, isn't that interesting? Like that's happening a lot this year because now, you know, obviously airlines have always been incentivized to reduce fuel cost and those kind of things. But it's
greener.
It's turned into a more empathetic discussion now about, hey, we need to take a stand for the environment.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, it is. And you know, although aviation only is responsible for 2-3% of CO2 emissions, that doesn't mean that we should rest on our laurels. We should be proactive and try to. Yeah. There's a lot of things happening on that front. Have you heard about HART?
No.
There's I think it's called HART. It's a company in Gothenburg that is aiming to create the first fully electric regional plane. And
Swedish.
Yeah, Swedish. Yeah.
Wow.
And it's really exciting. I don't have a lot of information about it at this point, but it's something that definitely is on my radar. I'm going to keep a lookout on how things are going for those.
Keep the listeners up to date to that. I was talking to Espen Holby, which is who is the CEO of our company of OSM, and he was telling that the battery right now is only rated to 3. But we need batteries that are rated up to 10 to lift a 500-ton airplane in the air. So I think the regional airplanes will be the first one to be in the avant-garde hybrid electric. And then eventually, I guess, will be, once we are capable of designing or producing a battery that will be able to sustain that energy, then we might look at the bigger picture. But I heard that Sweden is the #1 battery maker in the world.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like, the Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese sort of thing, because they're into that kind of stuff. But I was surprised when when I heard it was Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's surprising.
Well, there you go,
Well,
buddy.
you heard my reaction. I was surprised too.
He almost fell down.
Yeah.
No, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That, you know what? I'm envious because, I don't fly anymore. I'm too old. I'm wrinkly and all this stuff. And I look at the young generation, which I'm the mentor of them for OSM Aviation, and I just envy them. I just say to myself, okay, they're not, they're going to be looking for the first seat. They're going to struggle a little bit to get that. But once they've done that, man, sky's the limit. They're going to see things that I won't see. You probably will see, but probably in the wheelchair by then. But but it's exciting for the new generation.
It is.
It's super exciting.
Yeah. The future is bright.
Yeah, absolutely. What's another thing that I've seen in the news? The drones.
Oh, the drones, man. They've been popping up.
What's up with that?
Yeah. I think we're in a phase right now where more and more drones are coming to the market. People are flying them without full understanding of the airspace structure and the airways and the approaches and all that stuff.
So true.
And what's happening is that they're almost hitting planes. In some locations, that's been the case, right?
Yeah, well, they want to take pictures of the airplanes when they're coming in from landing. Hello.
Yeah. So you think that's what it is? That they're flying on the approach and be like, oh, I'm going to get a cool plane spotter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, plane spotters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, I think that drones are getting ridiculous now because you can go to Toys R Us and buy a drone for a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think that they've done some near miss in London.
Yeah.
And now they're on top of them, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be, there's tightening up the ship a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And there's regulations.
That's right.
And people are going to be held liable.
Yeah.
So
licenses will be required if you want to fly them somewhere close to an airport. I mean, I think it's time for them to start, buttoning up and taking control of that because it's out of control.
Yeah.
Like EasyJet almost hit one in July, didn't it?
Yeah, that's true. And then it came, they wrote a report on it and everything. They saw it as they were flying in to land on the approach. But it's obviously it poses a risk. You can't be flying around, and if they're plane spotting or if they're just not knowledgeable and flying around taking pictures of stuff on the ground, the risk is there if you. Yeah.
Now we're not saying that a small little drone will bring an aircraft down. It's just that you don't do that. There are some big drones out there. I mean, they're huge, and they can actually pick up a man. They do deliveries. They're going to be doing deliveries now and all stuff. I mean,
Amazon's going to do drone deliveries. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, Budweiser's looking at delivering beer. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's so you need something that's capable of lifting. 3, 4, 10 kilos. So you've got that weight, and you hit something like that at 200 knots.
Yeah,
250 miles an hour. If you're,
it's not going to be. It's definitely going to damage the aircraft, and it costs a lot of money to put the aircraft on the ground and fix it and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. And you never know. It could bring somebody down.
Yeah.
Small airplanes maybe or something.
Yeah. We could just got to have a good structure for how our airspace environment's going to work and what rules
that's right.
We need to abide by, right?
Yeah. Educating as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big
Everybody
thing.
needs to know.
Yeah. I heard that, actually I heard it through you, that there's a big anniversary coming up in Norway, and it's the Academy, right?
The Academy's been open in Norway for now a little bit over a year.
So it's passed.
Yeah, it's already passed. Yeah, in September, the Norwegian Academy celebrated its 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and thank you to anyone who's listening in Norway. Fantastic job building that school up to what it is. Third class also started in September, so now there's more than 50 students in training there.
I was there. I was there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were down.
I was there doing a mentoring.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's right. There are over 50 students there.
Yeah. So it's really, really grown, and it's an international environment, which is really cool. And one of the really great news this year for Norwegian citizens, at least, is that the flight school in Norway, if you're a Norwegian citizen, you can get student loans.
Get out.
So, yeah, and it almost fully finances the education. So it really opens up the door.
Huge.
For many people who are capable, but then before we're not maybe financially capable, now it's way easier.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So
hopefully now even with the electric planes, that will bring the prices down. So that will bring more people. So, I'm happy about that. Mm-hmm. But we need more females.
Yeah, we need more ladies.
Yeah.
Numbers are increasing, but it would be nice to see even more girls. Yeah. They usually are really good pilot material.
Oh, I think they're better. But that's just me. No, seriously. My experience, I know. But there's so many out there that, you need to attract them. So if you guys are listening, you girls, come on down.
Yeah.
We got a spot for you.
Sign up.
Sign up, please. Hey, spread the news. Mm-hmm. Spread the news.
Pilot Talk. Available on iTunes, Spotify, or osmaviation.com/podcast.
Okay, man.
This is it.
It's the end.
It's the end of the year.
The end of 2019. Wow. The year we started a podcast.
What a year has been.
It's been amazing.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we've had so many cool guests on the show.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Say the least.
Your boss, Michael Keating, to talk about psychometrics.
We had the girls.
Yes. The student pilots. Lexi, the flight instructor.
That's right. Yeah.
And
who else did we had?
It's been such an exciting journey.
I can't wait till next year.
And we had Sebastian Soltani. That's an episode that might be published next year, actually, but we've recorded an episode with him.
That's right.
And next year, 2020.
Wow.
That's going to be the year of the Pilot Talk podcast.
That's it, man. We're going video.
What are we doing? We're going to go video.
We're going to
make it into a vlog.
Yeah.
We're going to have more exciting guests on.
Absolutely.
And we've got a couple of really exciting ones that are confirmed, but we can't give it away. No, we can't give it away, but
it's like a Christmas present.
It's like a present, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
A delayed Christmas present that will come in 2020 from us. Stein Mjåtveit and Michel Treskin.
The midget.
That's how you say my last name. I'm starting to like it. Yeah.
That's right. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah. It's going to be a really exciting year ahead. And basically, this short clip is to thank you all, our listeners, for tuning in to the Pilot Talk podcast and for listening to what we have to say and our guests.
Absolutely.
It's been so much fun. We're so happy for all the questions, support, ideas.
Feedback and all that.
Exactly.
Oh, you guys are the best.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
We love you guys. You know that.
We do. Without our listeners, we wouldn't be anything.
We wouldn't be here.
No. So keep tuning in next year, guys. 2020 is going to be an exciting year with many exciting guests. And follow us on Instagram, the Pilot Talk Podcast.
Everywhere.
And we are everywhere, yeah. Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, you name it. And you can also, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all our listeners.
Be safe.
Be safe.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.